to see all of you.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good to be back. Back to the pavilion. As usual, I got sore throat whenever I visited India, but thank God it is not coronavirus.
Right.
So I'm 100% sure about it, so don't worry about it. So last time when we met, we completed our study on James the Greater, and now the James the Lesser is what we are going to do today. And for a few weeks we'll be doing this. Still thinking that we should do something else during the Lent season, which I will spend more time thinking about it, praying about it, and I will let you know soon. But for now, let's begin Apostle James the Lesser. Before we start, let's pray. Heavenly gracious God, the words of my mouth and the meditation of all of our hearts be acceptable in your sight, O Rock, our Redeemer, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Okay, let's begin. Fresco of Saint James the Less in the Orthodox Church of Vladimir, Russia, the 12th century. The fresco painting is the painting on the wall. So 12th century means, that's why it's a little faded, but I found this in the internet, and you see this Russian letters here. Okay, next. Just the imagination of how James the Lesser could be. If you look at it, if you don't see the name underneath, and if you ask anybody who's this in the picture, they might say Jesus Christ, because everybody did look the same because of the beard, because of the long hair, and that's why the Roman soldiers wanted Judas to identify. So when 12 people were together, it would be difficult to identify who's Christ. So that's why the Roman soldiers asked Judas to kiss him. So whoever that I kiss will be Jesus Christ, is what he said. So now they all look the same. Okay. Sometime when you go to a country like India, for you, everybody will look the same. It's like that. But for us, we can identify, different people. All right. So let's read the biodata, a little resume of James the Lesser. Somebody can read?
I can read.
Yes.
James the Less, of full name James the Less, year of birth 1st century, place of birth unknown, native place Cleopas, father's name Alphaeus, mother's name Mary, brother Matthew the Levite.
He's one of the disciples of Christ.
Profession Levite, author First Catholic Epistle, feast 1st May Anglican Communion, May 3rd Roman Catholic Church, 9th October Eastern Orthodox Church, year of death unknown, maybe 62, place of death Egypt or Jerusalem.
So what do we know from this information, the biodata? We know that his brother Matthew the Levi is one of the disciples of Christ. profession is Levite. Can somebody tell me what is a Levite? A Levite?
A priest.
A priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, priesthood. And they are born as a Levite, or they are made as a Levite. Can someone tell me? They are born in a Levite.
Don't they have to study an awful lot?
That's right. They have to study though,
They're very
but
intelligent.
only those who are born in the same family can become Levite.
Oh, okay.
Okay, not like me suddenly becoming a priest. It's not possible in Jewish category. They have to be born in the certain family. Only then they could become. It's Aaronic. Aaron, yes.
You know, in the Bible it says that towns are given to the Levites. This is a Levite town.
Yeah.
So here you have a town, everybody's a Levite. How can everybody can't be a priest? Somebody's got to fix the roof, somebody's got to sweep the street.
Right.
Yes.
I never understood that.
Among them they would do, because it is their place, they have to take care. The Levite, in the sense, the Aaron's family. The Aaron was the first priest. So who is a descendant of Aaron became the priest, and the other people have to take care of them. For example, they will not have their own profession. They are just Levite. Okay, they will not do anything else. Okay, the other people have to give them the place, the food, the salary, everything. The church or the synagogue has to take care of them. Okay, so they are not supposed to do anything else. So they live in groups. But even though the large number of Levites live in one particular area, not everybody will be the priest on a daily basis, because there are too many of them.
Yeah.
So they have to put a lot and then choose. Okay, Monday you, Tuesday you, Wednesday you, like that. Okay, so in Jerusalem, for one person to get into the Jerusalem synagogue to be a Levite will take around 1 year, I believe, for him to take the chance of leading the worship and all inside. So it's a Levite family, and Levite becoming a disciple of Christ it's a strange thing, because they were all high-headed people. So they will never follow anyone else. But it's good that they became the disciple, because they know the law, they know everything. They study, but still, if they follow Christ, that's just God's calling. And James the Less wrote a Catholic epistle. It's not there in our Bible. If you buy a Catholic Bible, you will find the epistle written by James the Less. It's not there in our Bible. Why? Because of a lot of reasons. Our Protestant people did not include many books in our Bible, because of the clarification of certain details, authenticity of the author. If they are unknown, they don't want to include it. Okay, that's why many books have not been included. Even a book written by Saint Thomas was not included in our Bible. But it's interesting if you go read the epistle written by James the Less. And the feast, I already mentioned to you about the feast day for each saint, and different traditions follow different dates as a feast for James the Less, like Anglican Communion, 1st May, Roman Catholic Church, May 3rd, Eastern Orthodox Church, 9th October. Place of death could be Egypt or Jerusalem, because nobody could tell exactly. Okay, let's go to the next slide.
Statue of St. James at the Church of the Mafra Palace, Portugal.
I went to Portugal, but I have not been able to go to the palace over there. Maybe next time when I go there. Next. See, James and Jacob are the same name. Okay?
Minor.
So when you say the Jacob the minor or major, or Jacob the James the less, both names are same. James and Jacob are the same.
Oh,
Like the Santiago. I told you, no, about the Santiago name. Same name.
You remember the name Jacob? Jacob or Jacob
Jacob.
or James.
Yes.
In remembrance of Jacob, son of Isaac and Rebekah, several Jewish families in the New Testament time named their children as Jacob or James. Joseph's Mary's husband, father Matthew 1:16, and Jacob the father of Joseph, the husband of Mary, of whom Jesus was born, who is called Christ. Genealogy.
According to the genealogy, because in remembrance of Isaac and Rebekah, Jacob, son of Isaac, a lot of people have the same name. That's why there are a lot of confusion in names.
yeah.
Same name will be there. Like Mary, there are about 4 or 5 different Marys that you can find in Bible. You know, they follow the same names. In respect of Jacob, son of Isaac, you know, a lot of people name their descendants as James, Jacob. That's why you see several names of the same thing. And when you see the evidence for that is when you read Matthew 1:16, Jacob, the father of Joseph. Here, Joseph's father is also Jacob.
Gee.
Okay. Joseph is the father of Christ, Jesus, and his father's name is Jacob. So you will see the same name several times repeated, and that's the evidence for that. Next. Yes.
The name Jacob or Jacob was in Jacob's James, son of Zebedee, one of the 12 disciples, Mark 1:20. And immediately he called them, and they left their father Zebedee in a boat with the hired servants and followed him. Jacob, son of Mary and brother of Jesus, James or Just, who wrote the letter James in Bible. Apostle Judah's brother, James, Luke 4:16, and Judas the son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor.
It's confusing if you read it because repeatedly the name James comes, but these are all different James. That's why I put all these biblical verses to identify different people. But there, in one of the 12 disciples, Jacob, James, son of Zebedee, that we come to know immediately, that's a different James. Okay? And Jacob, son of Mary and brother of Jesus, is a different. James the Just. It's not James the Great, James the Less. It's James the Just. Okay? Who wrote the letter. So, he's the one who wrote the Bible epistle called James. That is James the Just. Okay? So don't confuse yourselves, but just to understand,
Just be aware.
there are there are different James. When you see James, you cannot imagine, oh, James, because James is not the only one. Next. And James is also Jacob. Jacob in original Greek. And when we read our Tamil Bible, it says Jacob. Jacob. That's the original.
He said in
name.
Germany too. Germany we said Jacob.
Jacob. Okay,
Yeah.
correct. Yes. That's the original name.
Evidence is in the New Testament that he's son of Alphaeus.
Alphaeus. We already saw in the biodata that he is son of Alphaeus. So how do we say he's the son of Alphaeus? Then we need to have proof. So that's why I gave you the proof here. Someone else could read. if not Lottie.
All right. From where? From
Yeah, from Matthew.
Matthew,
10:3.
okay. Okay. Matthew 10:3, Philip and Bartholomew, Thomas and Matthew the tax collector, James the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus.
Yes.
Mark 3:18, Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot. Luke 6:15, Matthew, Thomas, James son of Alphaeus, Simon who was called the Zealot.
Okay, so this is where we differentiate between the other James, son of Zebedee and son of Alphaeus. There are 2-3 different gospel that we could see that they mention about James, son of Alphaeus. So immediately we know that this James is different from James, the son of Zebedee. So here we know. So his father is Alphaeus. That's how we come to know. That's how we come to know the differentiation between two different people.
There's one more evidence.
Okay,
Another evidence that we could see in Acts 1:30.
and when they entered, they went up to the upper room where they were staying. Peter, John, James, and Andrew, Philip and Thomas, Bartholomew and Matthew, James the son of Alphaeus, and Simon the Zealot, and Judas the son of James.
Judas again, son of James. Okay, this is another place. I think the gospel writer also specifically mentioned James, son of Alphaeus, to differentiate him to the other James. Okay, next.
All right.
Evidences that James is brother of Matthew. We already saw in the biodata that the Matthew Levi is the brother of James, son of Alphaeus, and he's also a Levite, and James is also a Levite. We saw. Let us see the evidences for that.
Okay, Matthew 9:9. As Jesus passed on from there, he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax booth, and he said to him, "Follow me," and he rose and followed him. Okay. Mark 2:14. And as he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the tax booth, and he said to him, "Follow me," and he rose and followed him.
Both are talking about the brother of Matthew, the brother of James. Both. One place in the second one, Mark chapter 2:14, it says, he saw Levi, son of Alphaeus. Okay, so there is, and when you read the first one, Matthew chapter 9:9, it says he saw a man called Matthew sitting at the tax booth, and he said to him, "Follow me," and he rose and followed him. So the same Matthew is calling here Mark 2:14. He saw a Levi, son of Alphaeus. You know the connection, how we conclude about the James and his brother. This is how we see the evidence to conclude that he's a brother of Matthew. Any questions on this? In one place we see the name, the other place it just says Levi, son of Alphaeus. Here when you see, it doesn't say son of Alphaeus, but here it doesn't say the name, Levi, the son of Alphaeus. So we just call it, so this Levi should be Matthew. That's how we identify, and should be the James, should be the brother of James, because we know for sure James is also son of Alphaeus. And Matthew, he says, Levi, son of Alphaeus, and here Matthew. So Matthew, the Levi, the son of Alphaeus. So Alphaeus has another son, which is James. So, therefore, James is the brother of Matthew. It's just mathematical equation. Still confused? Me too. Very simple equation. When you do some research, when you have to come to some conclusions, this is how you could come to a conclusion. Okay? Patron saint, yes.
Okay. St. James is the patron saint of hat makers. Patron is considered to be a defender of a specific group of people or of a nation. There is a patron for virtually every cause, profession, or special interest. Prayers are considered more likely to be answered by asking a patron for intercession on their behalf.
Have you understood about why people have patrons? I've given an explanation here. Every single profession, single group or a country, they identify one person to be their patron. Could be a person who have visited them or martyred in that particular country, or maybe associated with their profession. So that's how those days, every profession they used to have a patron, so that they could pray to them, help us in this. So that's how St. James is a patron of hat makers. Now they have James as their patron. Okay. Next.
Pastor, is that
Yes.
why in the Catholic Church, a lot of my friends, like I pray to Jesus, but they first for intercession they pray to the saints.
Yes.
This is the reason why.
Correct, because they think that they are more close to them rather than go to God directly. But
Yeah.
Bible says clearly that you could go to God directly, and you have Jesus Christ, who's your intercessor.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That's why when we say a prayer, we end all our prayers in
In the name of
Jesus'
Jesus,
name,
yeah.
because that's what Jesus commanded. In my name, when you pray, the prayers will be answered. But those days, even now, the Catholic faith, they think that they're praying to the saints.
The same,
And,
right.
They don't consider themselves good.
I will tell you an example. In my family, we have 3 brothers. Myself, my other brother in India, and my 3rd brother here. My father is a strict person, which I have mentioned to you. So whenever I come for vacation, if I have to go for a movie, we have to take permission from our father. We cannot just simply go to a movie. First of all, we need money. Second, we need to inform our parents before leaving the house, anywhere.
Even now, at your
Yes.
state?
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So, so we need money from my father. So I'm little afraid of going to my father. What I will usually say, I will ask my younger brother, Raj, go take permission. Go take permission. So he will go because he is the youngest of the lot, and so he has the guts to go ask, want to go to a movie. Father said, okay, go. This is the money. So then he will come back and I get permission. So we all will go. Sometimes, we don't know whether the movie is good or bad. So my father, what he used to do, he will go first. See the entire movie, and then he will say, okay, you can go. So it might take some time, 2-3 days. We came to know about that only later on. That he will go, watch the movie, and then, okay, we'll decide, okay, our children can go watch. I don't remember having gone together with family. Sometimes my mom used to come, but my mom also lost her interest. My father stopped seeing movies. So we have to go on our own. And then when we became adults, then the certifications will come. U, A certificate, A for adults, U for universal. Seeing that, my father will say, okay. Okay, so like that. So it's easy for me to send my brother to take permission from my father rather than me going to my father directly. It's the same manner. People think that going to the saint is easier for them, familiar person, easier for them, rather than going to God, because they feel a little
Insecure.
weak to go to God directly. You see the example?
Yes.
That's why they sin. do that. But one should have courage to go ask directly. And only when you have the intimacy, the relationship, the close relationship, you could go ask. Next. Christian art. We also talked about the Christian art in different contexts, about different people that we did study on. This is very important connection between the saints, the apostles. Christian art is the one which gives an opportunity for us to imagine about how they would have been looking like that. So Christian art is very important. Also easy to understand the story behind. That's why wherever you go, ancient churches, you will see a lot of artwork. And the church spent a lot of money and hired artists months together. They will stay inside and paint. For example, when you go to Vatican, they hired, yes.
Is that still James the Less? Is that still talking about James the Less?
Yes, the same.
Oh, that's him. Okay.
James the Less is the topic, but this is the Christian art. So in Christian art, how do we depict is what?
He was clubbed to death in Lower Egypt.
Pastor, what's that mean, Fuller's Club?
Yes, it's
What
still
is that?
Still, we are talking about James the Less, same person. Okay. So in Vatican, they hired big artists. Like what's his name?
Leonardo.
Yes, Da Vinci.
Michelangelo?
Leonardo da Vinci. He stayed for years together to to paint all the structures on the top and everything. Let's read this. Michelangelo. Yes, Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Okay, well, in Christian art, he is depicted holding a fuller's club because he was martyred when beaten to death with a fuller's club at Astrakhan in Lower Egypt, where he was preaching the gospel.
Okay. See, when we read the biodata of him, I mentioned that the place of death is either Egypt or Jerusalem. And when we read this, there is no proof for that. When there is no archaeological proof, then it's not certain. But these are all, the traditions say about that. So because he was beaten to death by a fuller's club, and so he was holding a fuller's club became his symbol later on in the lower part of Egypt. Next. You will see the artwork here. Yeah. These are all oral verbal traditions passed by years and years passed by, but there is no proof. That's why we call that as a tradition. Then somebody can read.
Okay. According to tradition, he was the first bishop of Jerusalem and was at the Council of Jerusalem about the year 50. The historians Eusebius and Hegesippus relate that St. James was martyred for the faith by the Jews in the spring of the year 62. Tradition holds that St. James, though strongly clinging to Jewish law, was sentenced to death for having violated the Torah. He was arrested along with an unspecified number of Christians and was subsequently beheaded by Herod in persecution of the church.
These are all the traditions. You see the year, the spring of the year 62 that I've included in my biodata. His death year could have been 62. And, strongly clinging to Jewish law because he was Levi. Levi means completely educated in the Torah and law. So he was attached to Jewish law, but he was sentenced to death for having violated the Torah, and it's not true. Subsequently beheaded by Herod.
Pastor,
Yes.
I'm so easily confused. Now, one guy was clubbed to death. This guy was beheaded. Are we talking two different guys?
Yeah, the same guy, but different traditions say about the different things.
Oh, yeah.
And that's about James the Less. So, when we study about the disciples of Christ, everybody is equal. James the minor, James the, as I told you, not because they are less important people. They are all important people together, and they all worked and gave their life in order to spread the gospel wherever they went, and with lot of conviction. When if you see all the 12 disciples except Judas Iscariot, and they included one more person in his place. When you read Apostles, you will know. So they included another person. All the 12 people gave their life. Not even, because usually when a leader was there, under him about 100 people are there, after the leader's death, half of them will go astray, will go away or run away. But none of them, except Judas Iscariot, none of them completely went a different route. They all followed Christ till their death. All of them. All of them gave their life for the gospel. That's why Christianity spread all over the world, and till date, Christianity is #1 religion in the whole world. In spite of all the other religions were born from Christianity, like Muslim came from Christianity, and Jewish, there is no conversion in Jew. You cannot become a Jew if you want to, but you can become a Christian. Yes.
I routinely talk to people who have become sort of pseudo-sophisticated. They went to college, they used to be Christian, now they're too sophisticated for that,
Yeah.
And they say, all religions are created equal, they're all pretty much equivalent. So I say to them, there's only one where it says love your enemies. It's unique, it's the basis for civilization,
Yeah.
it's unique. And they say, that couldn't be, that's impossible.
Yeah.
And I say, no, it's the only one. Everybody says love your neighbor, but only Christ says love your enemy.
Right. So his teachings were great, and it's applicable even today. It will never become redundant. It will never become obsolete. But it is absolute till date that we could, bravely we could follow. And these are all the people who were our examples, being a faithful follower of Christ. So when we study about them, it gives us the encouragement for us to cling on to our faith more and more. Also to spread it in whatever means that we could. By our acts, by our thoughts, and by our deeds. Being a living example, a living witness for Christ in our lives. So that the light that we receive from Christ, because He came to remove the darkness, the light when we receive from Christ, the light comes and removes our darkness, first of all, inside of us. And then the light should reflect to others, reflect outside, so that the same light also will be able to help somebody else to remove their own darkness. Got it? Thank you so much. So I had a nice trip in India. I stayed in the same, I met my mom, and she's all ready to come. She had to sign some papers in the month of April.
Permanently?
Permanently for good.
Wow.
and
Is she
so
gonna stay
I'm
with you, Pastor? Is she gonna
Yes.
live with you?
yes, she'll be staying with me. Of course, my brother is also there,
Right on.
and you know, I mentioned that he's the favorite of the lot.
You're the baby, Raj?
Yeah, still a
You're the
bit.
baby.
That's how I was spoiled, you know.
So,
Is he
so
planning
he
to
will,
come to?
she will also visit him. and-
Yeah. Is he planning to come to, your
Yes.
brother?
The other brother, not now.
Oh.
He's working in government. He's a Tamil teacher,
Oh.
and he's kind of settled there. And
Lots of
for
people.
now, he will
Wow, for
be
your
there.
mother to make. Wow.
My mom, she has to sign some pension paper. She is getting a pension
Right.
from government, both my father's pension and her pension. She's well off. So usually the children have to take care of parents. But till date, my mom takes care of us. Whenever we go there, you want money? Here, take money. No, we don't want money. No, take money. Take money. What should I do with this money? Today, this time, you have to take money. I said, no, I don't want money. I have to give money to you. And she said, no, if you don't take this money, then I will throw it in the dustbin.
Oh,
So, okay, then I'll take it.
That's a big problem.
It's always she says, don't worry about your travel and everything, and don't. You're looking sad. You need money. Always, my mom is like that. My father was also like that. You know, he took care of us. I had an opportunity again to go to St. George's Cathedral on Sunday. You know, I got a VIP pass to attend a Republic Day parade in the headquarters of our state on January 26th. January 26th is the Republic Day of India,
Oh.
and India is celebrating its 71st.
Republic Day. Maybe like the main holiday.
Fourth of
Uh,
July.
Fourth of
so-
July is for us.
I was in a dilemma to go to church or go to the parade. It's a military parade, and the governor will come and hoist the flag and all. It's a rare opportunity that I got because I got a VIP. So I went in the early morning, about 7 o'clock. I witnessed the parade with all the dignitaries, the chief minister and the other ministers, the governor were all there. And after that, I went to church. So I could do both. Went to St. George's Cathedral, went to my father's cemetery, said a prayer, and so the education is what my parents gave. That's the best gift that a parent could give to their children, the education. With that education, with the certificate, with $200, I came to this country.
Wow.
And I had to send even that $200 back home because some bills had to be paid. But God helped me to settle down and brought my family, and several people came after me, my family members, one by one came, and everybody is doing good by God's grace. It's all by God's grace, and we had our education presented by our parents. So with that education, we could build up our future.
That's it. Do you still have siblings in India?
Yeah, one brother is still there.
One brother?
One brother is still there. He's my middle one, my second one, and Raj Havi is my last one.
baby.
Yes.
What's the status of mass education in India today?
Which one?
What is the status of education do you have education for all the people in India?
Yeah.
Who gets educated in India?
The education up to 12th grade is free, and of course, if you have to go to a private school, then you have to pay for it. But college education also, when you go to the government colleges, it's very affordable for people.
Interesting.
And there are a lot of Christian institutions also.
Does-
We will talk more about it next time. It's running sort of.
Does every caste go to school, can go to school?
Everybody can go to school.
They all go, everybody.
Especially the lower caste have scholarships from the government that they can go. And also the reservation for them. even if they score less marks, they could get a job.
Job and education.
Okay.